So Jake DeBrusk wants to stay as a Boston Bruin. Man, how things have turned in just a span of a couple of years. Captain Paul for the Locker Room. Appreciate it if you drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you've not already. Let's get right into it. Jake DeBrusk recently came out with some comments, and if you're a Bruins fan, you gotta be really excited about it. This is what he had to say. I'm hoping to stay with the Boston Bruins. It's the only team that I know and the team I grew up with. Hopefully it goes in that direction and we'll see how it goes. That's why I have an agent, and I told him I wanted to stay out of this one, and in time it'll be nice when it all gets done. This is the last year of a 2-year contract which he signed for $8 million on March 21st of 2022, and I have to say he's lived up to that cap hit. And as for the contract negotiations, he had this to say: "It's not my first time going through this. It's my third time my contract is up with them. I kind of know what to expect. Although it's a little bit different with now being a UFA, I'm not too focused on that. I've kind of tested the waters before and I'm just going to focus on hockey." DeBrusk played spectacular last year. It was unfortunate he got hurt when he did in the Winter Classic. He was really on a roll. He would have scored 30 plus goals if he did not have the injury that he had. But in 64 games played, 27 goals, 23 assists for 50 points. DeBrusk, for a lot of Bruins fans, was much maligned when Cassidy was here. He wasn't performing. People thought they could get much more out of him, and he blossomed beautifully in the Montgomery system. I would not be surprised if DeBrusk scores around 70 points this season. He has all the motivation in the world because he wants to cash in, and I think the talent's there. And this is something I've kind of talked about on this channel with a lot of different players that I feel like fans give up on. If we were having this conversation a few years ago about DeBrusk getting paid anywhere north of $6 million, $7 million, people will be like, "You're insane. He's a bust. He's a bust." Sometimes it just takes players in the right situation, under the right system, and just a little bit of time to develop. I'm not saying the years before he was anemic offensively, but he just seemed like maybe a 40-point guy at best. But DeBrusk has really developed nicely, and with him being only 26, if the Bruins manage to lock him up in the long term, he'll be a core piece of the Boston Bruins going forward. And for Bruins fans, they hope that he can contribute to bring them another Stanley Cup championship. As for the contract, that would make sense to me. He had 50 points in 64 games played. I'm hoping a contract is negotiated a little bit earlier on, but as of right now, if I was to take a guess, maybe around 6, maybe around 7 mil, something around that. He has shown some good scoring potential. The one thing I'd worry if on the Boston Bruins is that he hasn't played a full 82 game season in his career. Some people could be worried with that, but for me, not as much. When he's on the ice, he's a really good player, and I think some unfortunate circumstances have happened in the past that I can't really blame him for. But I'd like to know your thoughts down below. Do you think it's kind of interesting that Jake DeBrusk has completely flipped the script and now wants to be a Boston Bruin for life? Love to know your thoughts down below. I'm Captain Paul, and I'll see you in the next one.